If your wearable pump isn't working, there's a really good chance it has nothing to do with your milk supply and everything to do with how wearable pumps change the pumping process. A lot of you have seen our video walking through the Proficient Pumping Pyramid, which is the methodology that we use inside of our course, Pumping Efficiently. We've used that with moms for years. It works really well. And that video has been one of our most helpful and popular free videos on YouTube. But wearable pumps break this in ways that most people don't realize. And if you don't adjust for that, you can do everything right and still struggle with low supply or inconsistent output. So if this is you, you're pumping constantly, you're using a wearable, you've tried increasing section, you've tried pumping longer, maybe you've even tried different pumps or a new bra, and somehow you're still getting less milk with your wearables or results that just don't make sense, then this video is for you. And one important thing to understand is that every step of the Proficient Pumping Pyramid looks a little different with a wearable pump. Okay, the biology doesn't change, but the application does because you've changed the tool. So with wearables, schedules often require more flexibility and consistency across the day. Flange sizing becomes more sensitive and more challenging because alignment is harder to maintain and you lose all visual access. Letdowns are more guided by structure than visual feedback. Settings may need more experimentation because different pumps feel different, and we use settings very differently on a wearable pump, especially when we're trying to create opportunities for letdowns. Techniques like positioning, stability, and movement matter way more, and the mental, emotional, hormonal aspects become such a big factor because multitasking and distraction are common with wearables because that's how they're built to be used. So throughout this video, we're going to walk through how our pyramid methodology applies specifically to wearable pumps because this is where most moms get stuck. And honestly, this is exactly why I just built our new wearable pump masterclass, which is inside the Pumping Efficiently system, because wearable pumps change the application of pumping way more than most moms realize. And this is the part that can feel most frustrating, I think, because wearable pumps are supposed to make things easier, right? You have more freedom, more flexibility, and instead it kind of can feel like everything just got harder. So let me show you what's actually happening, because wearable pumps don't change the rules of milk production, but they do expose the weakest parts of the system really fast. And honestly, that's why wearable pumping can feel so confusing sometimes, because it's not usually one giant problem. It's usually several small things stacking together in ways that are hard to see. So inside our Proficient Pumping Pyramid, we're looking at all the things that have to work together for your body to release milk well. But with wearable pumps, I've found that it's a little bit easier to think about this in 3 categories, all right? And for us, we use fit, focus, and flow. The tricky part here is that every wearable responds a little differently, every body responds a little differently, and what fixes output for one mom might not be the thing that fixes it for another. And even if one of these is off, your output is going to struggle. So let's walk through these together. The biggest one, and there's a reason I put it first, because it matters the most, is fit. And here's the problem with wearable pumps in the fit realm. They are some of the hardest pumps to get right because you can't see what's happening. So what does fit actually mean? There are 3 elements here that we tend to dive into. One is your flange size. One is how the pump fits in your bra. Bra fit is so important. And then your nipple alignment. All right, all of those fall into this fit category. And if any of these are off, your body physically cannot remove milk well. And I'm not saying less efficiently or a little slower. I mean, if the alignment is off, if it's not suctioning the right part of your nipple, you're going to get 0 milk. And the worst thing is when that happens and you notice it right at the end of the session when you take them off and there's nothing there. Tell me if that's ever happened to you. I actually did have a student in our system who was barely getting an ounce of milk with her wearable. She thought her supply had dropped because she had gone back to work and started using her wearable, right? She was about to start supplementing and she had already tried a lot of the things I see online: stronger suction, pumping longer, replacing parts, adjusting her schedule. She even bought a different wearable. In fact, one that was on my favorites list, but it was still pretty the same. Basically everything she could think of, she had tried. We didn't end up changing her schedule. We didn't end up changing her pump. We fixed her alignment and her bra fit, and her output doubled almost immediately. Notice I didn't say her supply doubled. Her supply was fine. It was the tool and the way it was being used that was the problem. And that's how powerful this fit piece is. She actually then went on to fine tune a few other things and was able to get the same amount of output with her wearable as her tabletop pump. So if you're struggling with a wearable pump, before you go buy a new pump or just let it sit on the shelf, you have to ask, is my fit actually correct? Because most moms skip this or aren't sure which aspect to tackle first, and then spend weeks trying to fix everything else. Now, once all of the areas of fit are correct, that's when we move into focus. And this is where letdowns live. All right, this includes your pump settings, stimulation and expression modes, your environment, and kind of how you guide the session overall. And this is a big difference that we see, especially in our Proficient Pumping Pyramid methodology. It's always a mouthful, because you lose a lot of the feedback that you normally rely on during pumping. And I think a lot of moms rely more on visual feedback and adjusting in real time than they even think. With a traditional pump, you can often see milk flowing. You can notice when things slow down. You can adjust in real time. But with a wearable, this is much harder. Most moms put the pump in, push play, move on with their day. And sometimes you trigger a letdown, sometimes a couple, but I would say most of the time we're really lacking in this area. Sometimes the alignment shifts, that would be a fit issue. Halfway through the session, you don't realize it. Or sometimes we're just not creating the environment that we need to have multiple letdowns in a session. All right, so essentially what I see from a lot of moms is you're either just dry pumping for 30 minutes without much effective milk removal, and then you got to go pump again with something else afterward. Or maybe you have one letdown and then you're just dry pumping for the rest of the session. Again, that's going to result in lower output. It just is. And this is where a lot of moms think that their supply suddenly dropped with wearables, when most of the time, the milk was never the problem in the first place. Because you can't easily see what's happening while you're pumping with a wearable, wearable sessions require a lot more intentionality than most people expect. You don't have to be paying perfect attention. You're not tracking every letdown perfectly, okay? That's not what we're asking, because wearables are designed to give you freedom and flexibility, right? But you do need to create more opportunities for letdowns and effective milk removal to happen. And that's what the focus section of really using a wearable pump is all about. And then the last step here is flow. And this is about how pumping with a wearable actually fits into your day and your overall milk supply goals. How often you're pumping, whether you're replacing full sessions with a wearable, whether your total milk removed across the day is enough. Because even if each session feels okay, or you're getting, 70-80% of what you expect in that session, if you're not consistently removing it well and fully and giving your body signals that we need more milk, this is empty, send more, those little things can add up. And that's where moms start feeling like their supply is actually dropping. And sometimes supply actually does drop if we're not managing it well with a wearable. Again, it's not necessarily the wearable pump's fault. It's not your fault either. We just haven't optimized it to work well with you and your body. This is also why I really encourage moms to learn efficient milk removal first before relying heavily on a wearable, because wearable pumps are really not beginner mode pumping. It really helps if you know your body, if you know your baseline, if you know some of your tendencies when trying to express milk with a machine. Okay, which is a lot different than with a baby. They definitely feel like, to me, a more advanced application of pumping efficiently. The foundation matters, and then adding a wearable on top usually goes much better. Now, I've seen moms start with just wearables and just do that and make it work. Sometimes those moms make and release milk really easily, or they've pumped before, or I don't know, the moons align. What I most often see though is that for those that jump straight to a wearable, they struggle. It's a lot. Pumping is a lot to learn anyway. Like, we've been teaching core concepts of pumping on traditional pumps for years, and moms are still struggling there. So now when you add this little bit more challenging device, it's harder, right? And I don't want to scare you. Like, wearables are awesome. We have tons of students using them. They can be wildly successful. They're just different. So this is the shift I want you to take away. This isn't about trying harder or settling for less milk with your wearable. It's not about finding a better pump or secret settings. It's really understanding where your system is breaking. Fit, focus, or flow. And wearables don't give you less milk, right? They just expose problems faster. So if you're sitting there thinking, okay, I actually don't know if my issue is fit, focus or flow. That's normal. It's a lot to take in. And that's actually exactly what we walk you through inside of our wearable pump masterclass. And I chose to include this masterclass only available on top of our Pumping Efficiently course. And if you've watched the other video on our Proficient Pumping Pyramid, you'll understand why. Just to jump straight to a wearable, you really do need to understand the basics of how to pump efficiently. What does pumping look like for you? And then wearables become an easier, much easier addition to your pumping routine. Wearable pumps make way more sense once you understand the foundation of efficient milk removal for you first. So we take this framework and we apply it to your body, your pump, your schedule, step by step, so you're not guessing anymore. Did you learn something new here about wearables? I would love to know. Leave me a comment below and tell me there. If you have a question too, happy to answer there as well. I'm actually going to put the Proficient Pumping Pyramid video here for you next, because now that you've kind of understand how it functions with wearables, if you haven't watched that foundational one, I highly recommend it. I think it will all start to click together and make sense. All right, good luck pumping with a wearable. You can do it. We're here to help if you need.